Hello. Hello, everyone. Thank you guys for coming to warm, comfy hoodie party. Is everyone having a good time? Good, good. So I'm Naveen, and I'm one of the co-founders of Yat. And today we wanted to just take a few minutes. I know everyone's in party mode. Everyone's having a good time, drinking those hot toddies and all the other crazy shit we have. We wanted to just take a few moments to share something that we've been dreaming about since we first started working on Yat nearly 2 years ago. So as you all know, Yat is a self-sovereign identity product. And a key part of identity is self-expression. So today, we wanted to show you a sneak peek of a new way that folks will be able to express themselves on the web using their Yats. So now Yat enables self-expression on the web today using something called Yat Page. And what you're about to see, when we first started working on it, we thought, okay, this is just like a next generation version of Yat Page. But we thought, it's actually far bigger than that. This is actually Yat 2.0. Yeah. So before we give you a sneak peek of Yat 2.0, we wanted to share some community updates with you. So for that, I'm going to virtually pass the mic to my dear co-founder, Fluffy Pony.
Thanks, Naveen. It's great to be there without being there. Yats are increasingly popular with creators all over the world. As of today, creators with over 700 million followers are using their Yat as their primary bio link in their Web2 profile. We're seeing that Yats are especially popular on TikTok, where there's this incredible group of high-profile creators that are using Yats as their primary form of identity over anything else. This means that every day, millions upon millions of people are seeing Yats in the wild. And Yat creators are coming up with super creative ways to use their Yats. In the last few months, Disclosure, Steve Aoki, and Lil Wayne have used Yats to drop new albums. Steve Aoki even used his Yat on exclusive merchandise for the album drop. It's really exciting to see how many of the best and most creative artists are using Yats to share their creations with the world. Now, let's talk about the double cake emoji. What is the double cake emoji, you might ask? Well, it's Cake Wallet, of course. We've been working with Vic, Sonali, and their incredible team on a native integration for Yat with Cake Wallet, and we're psyched to share with you that this has now been submitted to the App Store. We're expecting it to be live in the next few weeks or even sooner. This is what the integration looks like. It really is so much better using Yat to send and receive digital currencies. We're psyched for you to play with it as soon as the update is live. Now, the final update we want to share with you today is kind of a big deal. Earlier this morning, Opera dropped a huge upgrade to the desktop browser, and it has an exciting feature in it: native Yat integration. This means that the nearly 400 million people who use Opera can simply type emojis into the URL bar. They don't need to type in www or HTTPS or y.at or anything else. It'll just work. In addition to native resolution, Opera has taken their Yat integration one step further. They built native resolution into their web page rendering system. Now, when an Opera user selects emojis on a web page, a modal will pop up enabling you to visit the Yat page. Think about what this means for a second. If you're an artist and you're using a Yat as your identity, this means that every time that unique string of emojis appears anywhere, it's a link to you. Even if they don't know that they're creating a link to you by using those emojis, they are. This makes owning Yat so much more valuable for every Yat creator in our community. Okay, now we want to show you an early preview of what we're calling Yat 2.0. Before we get into it, I'm going to hand the mic back to Naveen, who will talk about how we express ourselves on the web today. Take it away, Naveen.
Thanks, Fluffy, wherever you are. Today, the primary way we express ourselves on the web is through our social network profiles. Billions of people have them, and they all take the same general form. They have, obviously, the content you want to share. the content that the social network gleans about you through their vast surveillance that we all love so much, and of course the people that you're connected with. For a long time, they were the state of the art. But they're not that great for self-expression. They all look the same, and who knows what's real or not? You can't control your own story, and so our framing for YAT 2.0 is that it's really the reinvention of the social profile. So the first thing we started thinking about when we started working on this product is about all the amazing Web3 building blocks we have to play with together. Attestation and time, transaction graphs, metadata, all this amazingly rich metadata, and of course, self-sovereign identities, which for us means YATs. So let's talk a little bit more about identity. Every person on Earth has many dimensions to their identity, and our identities are continuously evolving. Humans aren't static. Many of us probably weren't into crypto 6 or 7 years ago. Now we are. And of course, our relationships and many core elements of our identities have changed and evolved along the way. Even in the present, at this very moment, we're all standing and sitting here together, we have many dimensions to our identity. You may be a parent, or maybe you play a musical instrument. Maybe you have a hobby or you love to travel. We aren't defined by our singular social network usernames. So we've come up with a way to describe this phenomenon. We call it liquid identity. So for me, most of you know me as Eagle. That's my primary YAT. But what you may not know about me is I'm also radioactive robotic scorpion. So now liquid identity extends far beyond YATs, of course. So in our beautiful NFT community, we have something that we just love so much, which is our avatars or our wonderful profile pictures. So for me personally, I love to change my profile pic all the time. I'm a bored ape, I'm a humanoid, and a cryptoad all in one. Now, I'm not alone here. Many of you are changing your profile pictures on Twitter all the time. Liquid identity is a mission-critical feature for the next generation of the social profile. Every YAT creator should have the ability to show off the many dimensions of their identities, their YATs, their profile pics, and more all at once. So now, another thing we think a lot about is when someone owns a Web3 asset, it's such a powerful thing. You know it's really theirs. But there's actually so much more you can learn about them, right? For example, when they acquired it. How early were they? Did they mint it? Or did they acquire it weeks or months down the road? So it turns out that the connection between time and assets is really, really, really important. And we've been thinking a lot about it. So one of the things we've been working on is a series of gems and a scoring system to make it really easy for people to instantly visualize time. So let's take this cryptoad, for example. It's a beautiful toad. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful toad. So let's pretend that someone actually minted it here and kept it all this time. So in this case, they would have the very special minter gem and a time score of 54. Now, the reality of this NFT is that it was sold to our very own Lightning Moneybag Lightning in mid-October. Our dear Velko, right here. Therefore, unfortunately for Velko, he doesn't have the minter gem. He has a new owner gem, and he has a time score of only 17. So the storytelling power here is super duper incredible if you really think about it. Now you know how much conviction someone has for any given NFT. And if they minted it, you know how connected they are in the community. We have folks here with us today that minted punks and have held them all this time. Their time scores would be fucking bananas. And their YAT page will tell an incredible story about them. So think about your own personal stories and how you use time as an anchor. Maybe you got into Bitcoin super early and that's a core part of your bio. Think about your job, how long you've had it, or think about your favorite band and when you first got into them. Time is one of the most powerful storytelling tools we all have. Another thing you can learn is you learn how many of something someone owns, right? It really says a lot if someone owns multiple of any given NFT. It means they really love it. Finally, you can see community-defined groups based on traits. So for example, if you're a Bored Ape Yacht Club holder and you are a member of the Orange DAO, see, I know. You started it? Well, then great. Well, you know what we started? For those of us who are in the Wicked Cranium community, of which we have a number of folks here, we started this idea. Actually, it was Valco's idea. It's the Royal Order of the Saints. Yeah, that's right. So now all of this Web3 stuff is really great, but in order for this idea of a next generation social profile to really work, we cannot ignore Web2 content. So we spent a lot of time thinking about how to create the very best blend of Web2 content and Web3 assets in a magical user interface. Your tweets, your playlists, your links, etc., need to be first-class citizens. So now for the big reveal. This is a prototype of what we're calling YAT 2.0. And this prototype video is going to be playing on the screens around this space for quite some time. So we want you all to really digest this shit because there's a lot happening here. And I want to give a major shout out to Justin Blau for allowing us to use his content. We're huge fans of Blau, and obviously he's a huge supporter of YAT, so we're very, very lucky to have him in our community. So take a look at this prototype, process what's really happening on the screen, and give us your feedback. We love to hear what you think about it. We think that the interface is groundbreaking. We think that the way it enables you to tell your stories and express yourselves is really, really special. We cannot wait for you to have the opportunity to play with it yourself. So now the question that I know everyone's going to ask is when, right? When? So we're still working on this. This is just a sneak peek, but our goal is to be in touch with every single YAT creator here at some point between now and the end of the year to give you exclusive access to a beta. So let's play. So before we wrap up, I just want to give a huge shout out and a huge thank you to the entire Tari Labs team for all of their incredible hard work. So everyone who's a member of Tari Labs, just raise your hands for a second. Okay, I want everyone to give a huge round of applause for all these hardworking people. Yeah. So now, if you would have told me this before I co-founded Tari Labs, I would have been like, really? But it turns out that stewarding a default private digital asset protocol and building a next generation self-sovereign identity product, it's really fucking hard to do. It just turns out. So we hope you enjoy the rest of the event. Thank you so much for coming to our first ever warm, comfy hoodie party. I hope you guys like the hoodies. How are the hoodies? Good, good. So up next, I want to turn things over to our dear friend, the amazing and iconic Questlove, who is going to be dropping some serious bombs for us for the rest of the night. So thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.